This is, in fact, part C of page 363. This is so like dense of a question because they don't give us anything and we have to build all of it from scratch. It can be tough to do. First time out, second time out, 100th time out. So allow the expert to guide you through his thought process, me, and then make changes along the way and then try to like emulate it, work it through. I was saying we're going to need distributive property. Honestly, the book says distributive property, but I think we've already made a division property of equality happen in that card. You know what? Why reinvent something? Let's stick with something that's already been made. Don't throw the card away. This is a good one to have, but I don't think we need it, especially with what was done in parts 1 and 2. So if you haven't yet gone back and watched the video notes for parts 1 and 2, this is like the brainstorm pre-write. And we're about ready to go from the brainstorm, the could it possibly happen, the pre-write, to an outline. Well, yeah, I'll say an outline, but I'm still going through like let's build the web, the thought process, the brainstorm web of connectedness with a little less like scrawl and sprawling letters. Okay, so please take a look. Join me. I hope that you have your paper. Maybe even it's time to bring in a second piece of paper. Who knows? I did. Okay, you can go over there. Just a reminder, what we did in the last video, we established that the arcs add up to 360, that the angles add up to half of the inscribed arcs, right? You can take the measure of angle A, it's inscribed, intercepted arc, and then it's half the measure of the intercepted arc. Then we can divide through by 2 the whole statement because the division property of equality lets us divide through by 2, and that turns into the 180 that we're looking for. Then we're going to use substitution, where these two things have matching things up here. And so we can substitute. And then last of all, we're going to come up with a statement where the angle equals 180. So we might as well just say the angles are supplementary. That's our proof. So taking this paper and kind of setting it aside, don't forget, I had to create it. So watch parts A and B just to make sure, or rewatch, or watch with more intention after we do this whole thing and go back and take a look at it. Here's what I think it looks like. I'm going to try to put it in order before I say full on like this is what it is. So I'm just going to go step 1. Okay, and I think it might work if I put my face over here. Step 1. So the first thing out of the gate, I'm going to say that we're going to add the arcs together to make a full circle. So the measure of UQD plus the measure of UAD equals 360 because it's a circle. The arcs add up to a circle. Arc, addition. So we have that idea you can add arcs and they make a bigger arc. And then also the arcs create a circle. Okay? Okay, so then stepping up here, number 2. Number 2 I'm going to say is that angle Q, the inscribed angle, is going to be equal to half of the measure of the intercepted arc. So UAD, because, oh, and the other one, I can see them both at the same time. The measure of angle A is also going to be equal to 1/2 the measure of UQD, because they are both the inscribed angle theorem. Okay? Okay, so then my notes, we go and we say the step 3. So step 3 says divide through by 2. We're going to use the division property of equality, and we're going to divide everything. I want to take a step away, right? I feel like if I say division, I'm going to have to say simplifying. I'm going to have to say substitution multiple times. I'm going to change from what I said with division property of equality to its twin, identical twin, and say multiplication by 1/2. Multiply through by 1/2. So I'm going to take this one. Right, multiplying by 1/2 is the same as dividing by 2. So 1/2 M U Q D. I should put all of this in parentheses. I'm going to multiply the entire side. There's a reason. Multiply UAD And then on the other side, multiply equally. So I did this step because I'm thinking like I'm trying to make sure I'm clear. And it is kind of clear in the way that I'm thinking about it, but I have to also remember that a proof must be explicit. So I can't say a thing. Like, think about this too. If you're going to write an essay for English class, you're going to say some sort of opinion paper. You can't just go spouting random facts. Not random facts. You can't just go spouting random opinions. You have to back the opinion up with factual evidence. And so I have to do that here too. I have to back my statements up with factual evidence. My fact here is I'm using multiplication property of equality. The multiplication property says multiply both sides by the same number, you're still good. Hold up. Stick around for the next part of the videos.